Dang, live
All right.
already.
Yeah, here we go. We're live. I'm not coming to you from the mountain bike capital of the world. I'm in Kansas City. I am at a Spring Hill Suites
Tell
in
them why.
Kansas City. We had to go to IKEA. Yes.
Always fun.
Yes, we had to go to IKEA. Mama Bear's been wanting to come to IKEA for a long time. Get a new bed for Dex. We had it all set up, dude. We came up to just get the same bed he had, which he's had for a long time. It's a queen bed. It's a big bed.
Wait, so he's in a queen?
He's in a queen, yeah, because I got it before he was born for the guest room, and it has 4 drawers underneath. It's got 4 big drawers underneath. So it made a lot of sense. It was a great bed. And he just wrecked it, dude. Like, it's just been hammered. So it's IKEA, and you torque it a little bit, and it starts coming apart, and the drawers are breaking, all this stuff. So we decided we're going to come up and get a new one. And we came up, we were ready to get it, and then we saw this one that's a twin that goes against the wall and has drawers in it, and it would just open up half of his room. So we decided to do that, and then we had to get a different bed for the guest room.
The snowball effect.
It was gnarly. Yeah, just so I wonder if Ian's saying he's from. I wonder if Ian is from here. If that's what he's saying. Ian, are you from here? Is that why?
I think so, because he was the same fellow that was just in the video premiere saying that he's been to Bentonville. So
yeah,
that's right.
What are you up to? You swimming down there, or is it the? Oh, Ariel's here too. Ariel's rad, dude. Ariel came out to a clinic in San Diego, and his wife has been, his wife's been crushing it. So she was a rock star, man, and apparently she's just gotten so fired up to ride. It's a really good story. It'd be cool to have them on at some point to talk about it. Yeah, rad, dude. One of the greatest parts of the ride series is getting to interact with so many cool people and staying in contact with them,
and watching them grow
after the fact. Yeah,
totally.
It's cool.
Oh, look, Kyle's here. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how about Tomac? What I haven't been on social media. I know he had a knee injury, or maybe he's just talking about the win. Yeah, Tomac clinching it. Eli Tomac. I don't know if you follow Supercross stuff, Jared. Oh boy,
I don't.
We're gonna have to fix that, dude.
Yeah,
you're gonna be moderating these.
You and Mason both. Talk about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So should we reveal to everybody? We got 25 in here now. Should we reveal what our plan is this evening? Like how?
Oh yeah, actually,
yeah. I think it might be a good time.
It would be, and we can circle back around to it at some point. So
yes,
I've never done this before. I'm gonna start this one off. Asking for super chats, and they're not for me. They are for a good friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name just because I haven't cleared this with him. I haven't told him about it. It's something that's happened pretty recently. Long story short, he's a really good dude, and he's got an amazing family, and he's got a young son who's 10, and he's been having headaches, and they couldn't figure out why. And long story short, they realized it was a tumor in this young man's head, and he had to have surgery on his brain to remove the tumor, and they're down in Little Rock right now. The surgery went well by many accounts, and we're very thankful for that. It was weighing on me a lot the other day. It was Tuesday, and so he just rock star. Like, the kid apparently took it really well, like a champ. So did his family. Like, I couldn't, dude. There's no way. Like, I don't even want to think about how I would be having to deal with that. So long story short, any super chats we get tonight, we are going to give to the family. And not only that, I'm personally going to match whatever we get. So I'm hoping we get some people that'll just step up a little bit. Something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the mountain of bills that they're going to be under for this.
Even if it's just like a meal that they won't have to cover while they're traveling and on the go, anything like that is good.
Totally. I'm sure they're going to get a lot of support for the community, and I'm excited about that. But still, anything that we can do would be awesome. And we talked about this multiple times. Like, what are we going to do with the super chats? I've said before that I want to figure out somebody or some entity to give them to each time. And this one just kind of organically developed. So
Yeah.
throughout the night, all the super chats are going to go to this family, and Sarah and I personally are going to match them. So yeah, if you're one of the 29 that are in here now,
Jeremy,
it would be
amazing.
Awesome. Wow.
Look at this. Look at this.
Man.
Guys are wild.
Yeah, that's wow, that's really cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, he's a really good dude, and I'm hoping that we can at some point talk about it later. Because I think he's on the road to recovery. They just don't know a whole lot right now. So wow.
I'm gonna try to keep track of this for you, Rich. I got a notepad out so we can keep track.
I dig it. I'm taking pictures of it. Yeah, if everybody can just keep them in their thoughts, I'd love it. Just a rad family, super cool kid, and I'm just hoping he doesn't skip a beat like a lot of kids do, and just comes back stronger than ever. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. So I'm excited, and hopefully people are excited to talk about the all new Signal Peak from Fezzari. That's kind of what prompted this this live show. We did, we called it a first ride, but I had been on one before. I'd been on the launch bike, like I said in the video, but the launch bike was a little bit different. It had Fox, and we were on the new Elite TR build, which obviously has the Sid, the RockShox Sid on it. So,
which is super sharp looking.
Yes, very, very good. So just very quickly, Jeremy, Carlos, Eric, Skip, you guys are rad. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. I know the family's going to appreciate it, and I'm excited. So yeah, the bike, it's funny, man. Somebody wrote a comment on the Instagram that the reel that you made that
I saw it
posted.
I saw it.
I can't remember what it was funny.
He was like,
gonna be,
it was something along the lines of like,
oh, you think I'm popular?
Yeah, it's like another internet personality just tells you to buy because he says so, or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not going to put a huge, a huge talking piece in a 15-second reel. It's got to be just
that's
tidbits.
Funny because I wanted to tell him watch the video, but it's
not even worth it.
It's one of those things that I get it, I get it from the outside looking in. I could see how people might think that's the case, but you obviously know.
And that was what I almost wanted to comment myself. I want to be like, man, I wish you could have been trailside with us that day and just watched your actual live feedback. I mean, dude, you were hooping and hollering like a teenager or something. You were just having so much fun. I could hear you all the way down the trail at the bottom of Train just being like, yeah. I was like, whoa, he's really loving this thing.
No, I was, and I'll get back to that. Rob, thank you so much.
This is
cycling
amazing.
Psychologist, 25. Used to work with cancer patients and their families. What you're doing means more than you can imagine. Man, I'm not doing much. We're just using a small little platform to try to help this incredible family. And like I said earlier, I can't even imagine. Oh my God.
You see that, huh? Ian Larson.
Dude, Ian.
You're wild, boy.
Wow, man.
I mean, all of you. That's amazing. But yeah, y'all are awesome.
That's pretty cool, dude. Thanks, Ian. Man, I didn't expect that. That's really cool. I know it's going to mean a lot to them, and maybe he might even hop on at some point and just kind of talk a little bit about it. Like I said, dude, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine going through it. So
yeah,
it's funny. I sent a message to Jared earlier, and I'm going to take a picture of this because I want to send it to my wife. I sent a message to Jared earlier saying that I wanted to do this to try to help this family. And I mean, dude, you said it. You're like, you're going to be surprised at what people do, because people are awesome, man. It's a really cool.
Yeah. The mountain bike community is really solid. Like,
thank you, buddy.
For those of you who don't know, during Christmas time, I did a little something similar just to raise money for Toys for Tots. and it was explosive. And this is just like it. So the mountain biking community in this
sense,
is
you got to be kidding me.
Y'all are incredible. Let's make Rich broke, says Derek. I love it. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Trust me, dude. I'd love it. It would be awesome to make me broke. Definitely. It's funny. Sarah said that earlier, but thank you, Derek. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to just make a difference. Like Ian said, props for using your platform to support the people you care about.
Mm-hmm.
It's anytime I think we have an opportunity to use any platform to help anybody, I think it's something that we need to do. And man, I can tell you in my experience, the cycling community has always shown up. It's incredible what people will do in this community. It's never ceased to amaze me. And I can certainly tell you that the biggest thing that we're here to try to do is try to help in any way we can. Dude, you and I have talked about this so many times about what does the growth of the channel look like moving forward. And I've told you many times, we have to educate, we have to entertain, but we have to find ways to lift other people up and make an impact that's solid. People are out there and they're doing things that entertain, and I respect that. That's not the number one priority of this. The number one priority is try to find a way to make an impact somehow, some way. And
I've always said the same. Like, I don't think it's enough. Like, there's enough people on the internet just seeking to entertain and accumulate subscribers and views. But like, I think it's a whole nother ball game to like give back and try to support a community. So I really like this kind of stuff.
Well, another thing that's kind of cool, dude, is you'll appreciate this. We talked to Phil. Mm-hmm. So remember For the Love, Phil, who ran the food truck?
Yes.
So dude, I've talked to him a few times, and what we're going to do here for our next Adventure Subaru ride is we're going to meet at his food truck. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get everybody to help support him in their mission to feed those in need. So every Thursday is that food truck For the Love next to Gearhead.
Yeah, he gives away food, anybody. Doesn't
he? He does. So they feed anybody. Dude,
so look wild. At this. The food's good too.
Ariel coming in with 20, and your man Cobra Kyle coming through with 50.
Look at him.
One of the coolest logos still. Like,
I know it will forever remain relevant. Like, every time I look at it, there's more detail. Like, notice the O and the B is a little bike there. That's so clever.
Yeah, it is cool. And what's funny is Cobra. I remember when I met him, dude. It was in Slaughter Pen, Phase 1. We were going up the climb area to go to Blackbird, like the downhill return trail. And it was funny, dude, because he was a super cool dude. But I started chatting with him, and it was kind of funny because he almost was like taken aback that I would stop and talk to him like a normal person. I don't know. That's kind of what I got from him. It was funny, but yeah, he was awesome. And he gave me a sticker, dude. And I put his sticker immediately on my handlebars. And I had it on my handlebars for a long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. Terrence is saying, "Can you do a guest speaker for my team's Nike camp?" I'll tell you what, Terrence. Here's what I need you to do, dude. I'm not saying I can, because I don't know where you are. That's the first thing. But if it's not far to get to, I think we could probably do it. Send a message to my boss, which is my wife. It is info@therideseriesmtb.com. So please send her a message and ask her about this, and I will certainly see if I can do that. This is a great question. There's a Subaru ride.
That's a good question.
We have a Subaru ride that we do. One of our best partners is Adventure Subaru. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to do monthly rides with them, with the community. And we will post that on our social media on our end. As far as a good website that lists all of the Northwest Arkansas community rides, I have no idea. Jared, do you have any idea? Like,
no, not at all. Yeah, you just kind of have to join the groups on Facebook for all the different trail systems. There's no like clear way.
I think he's talking about Terrence. Derek said he's in Fiji. Not in Fiji. He's in the Kingdom Trails. So I'm not going to say we can't. Not going to say we can't do that. We can certainly try, see about making something happen.
Those super rides happen on Thursdays, though, right?
Like the super rides, we have done them in the past on Thursdays, but we're not going to do this next one on a Thursday because they feed people on Thursdays. So we don't want to overwhelm that. What we'll probably do is a Wednesday. Yeah. We'll probably do a Wednesday and get everybody out before that. And it's going to be in June at some point.
Okay.
And we'll try to get, like I did, you can buy a token to give somebody a meal, or you can go on Venmo and help support them. But I think what we're going to try to do is carry it over. And we may even do another one of these where we do a live session to talk about something, and we take whatever we get for the super chats to give to them. But I think if we get a small group out there, that we can help them make a difference feeding people. But man, I think he said they've fed over 10,000 people so far.
That is
maybe
incredible.
Yeah, it's a ton. It's a ton of people. So it's a really cool thing. Our man Jeff Larson checking in.
How you doing, Jeff? What's going on? I guess we should remind everybody that if you do have any questions about the signal, to go ahead and send them over. I know we're kind of covering a lot of topics, but that was also a goal tonight, because I know that I saw in comments that people were on the fence about the signal. So if you have any questions, just send them through.
Yeah, definitely. And for anybody who's kind of joining in late and wasn't aware, we're trying to make Rich broke tonight. So you see some big super chats dropping in. These super chats are going for something really special. It's something that I'm pretty passionate about. One of my good friends, his young son, his 10-year-old son, had to have emergency brain surgery to remove a tumor. And they are an amazing group of people. And the kid is an absolute rock star. And he seems to be doing really well. He's out of surgery. They're going to have a long road back. And so I want to try to help any way we can. So whatever we get on this super chat, Sarah and I are going to match it personally, dollar for dollar. And we're going to hopefully write them a big fat check to help, which I'm sure is a mountain of hospital bills. So I think that little bit of positivity, I mean, they're great people. The community is going to come out in force, I'm sure, to help them, but everything counts. So one of the questions I asked, and the only question I got about the signal, was weight. I can tell anybody who's interested in the weight of that bike, it's super light.
Definitely sub 30.
It's way light. And I can tell you, I'm going to make it heavier. And it's not necessarily by design, but I'm going to make some changes to it. I'm riding it completely stock. So I got a TR build, completely stock. It's even got the aluminum handlebars. Mm-hmm. I haven't even put cush core in it yet. Heck, it's even heavier because I kept the reflectors on.
Oh, yeah. People love that.
So anybody who saw the pictures, some may come up comments, but some picked up that was on purpose.
Oh, it was 100% intentional.
I left the reflectors on. I'm going to ride the bike for probably another 50 miles or more. And probably after that, I'll start making the changes that I need to. Jason Fox, stoked about our jump session on Monday. Heck yes, dude.
Yes, indeed. See, he's coming out our way, Bentonville area.
Yeah. Less stoked that the forecasted temps keep going up, dude. It's crazy. The weather has been crazy.
All over the place.
It'll be a little warm, but dude, it'll be fun, definitely.
Yeah, warm is better than rain.
Yeah, and thank you so much, dude. We're only going to be here. We went to Great Wolf Lodge, so we did everything we needed to in Casey. We're going to head back home early tomorrow, but hopefully we'll see you out there on Monday. If you need anything when you're out with the crew that's new, don't hesitate to ask, man. Kyle had a good question. For a frugal consumer like him, is there an alloy signal peak in the works? I don't know. I don't know. I could venture a guess to say probably not, just because I think that's a tough bike to do. That's a tough segment to do, that small travel and alloy, just because I think the weight would come up a little bit, and that might deter some people from buying a bike in that travel range. But I have no idea at all. But great question. I can tell you, for me, if it was an alloy bike, I still might even be prompted to get one. And Again, dude, I've always been pretty honest about this. I've had my Delano for a long time. I'm selling my Delano, and I'm selling my Delano just because we have too many bikes. Like, it's time for it to go. I have too many other bikes that need to be ridden that are in that same space, and the boss is making me sell it. I've tried everything I could to keep it, but it's got to go. It's the time. And so I'm very happy with the Signal Peak. And as we talk right now, I can tell you that it'll be hard for me not to just go cruise and not take the Signal Peak, especially once I get it set up where I want it. So for anybody who's interested, I am going to put new wheels on it, obviously. So I'll put wheels with better engagement, cush core, bigger tires. So it'll be a little bit burlier from that respect. But here's where people are probably going to lose their mind. I'm going to put 60 mil stem on it.
Well, I can't recall. What was the reach number on the large?
463.
And it has a 50 mil stem now?
It's got a 50 mil.
That's not too crazy.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. And Jeff, I said it, the Delano is one of my favorite bikes. But Jeff, the problem is I have multiple bikes in that category, travel range, and I have to ride those.
And more bikes coming.
Yeah. And so I have to ride those. And I've had the Delano for a long time, and I want to ride the Signal Peak, but then in another probably less than a month, the LaSalle will come in. And so we will have that too. Oh, yeah.
Getting some good questions.
Robin
too.
Cam, $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm excited. The family is going to appreciate that, guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Justin asks, how close is the capability of the Signal to the Delano? Not close. Not close at all. Very, very, very different bikes.
Yeah,
especially given my Delano is long shocked and long forked. So they're not two bikes that the same person would buy to replace one another. There was a lot of talk with this about what would you do now because of the new LaSalle. Like, a lot of people said, oh man, I'll get the Signal and I'll get the LaSalle and I'll be dialed. Yeah, maybe. I rode the LaSalle and the thing's a monster. Hell of a bike, but it's definitely, I think, suited for somebody who's riding some big terrain. And for me, I set my bike up with a 142 millimeter stroke X2 in the rear and a 160 Zeb up front. Just legit. Worked really well. Yeah, it's a very, very capable bike. So again, I do not think they are very close. But what I can tell you is I think the Signal Peak is a bike that will punch well above its weight class, especially for the right person. Now, I'm only making assumptions based on the time I've spent on the bike. Some of the design elements of the bike, for example, this one right here, Matt asked me, Signal Peak, Izzo, or Spur? So the first thing is...
Very good question, too.
Yeah, but this is a tough one because...
It depends on what you want it for.
It definitely depends on what you want it for, but it's hard because I would say you could compare the Signal Peak, the Spur, and maybe an Epic Evo in there. I don't see the Izzo here. The Izzo at 130 rear travel, that's just stepping up.
That trail zone.
Level. Yeah, definitely in the trail zone. So it's tough to say right now, like Matt. And I kind of feel like a jackass saying this. I have all three of these bikes in my garage right now. So yes, I'm very lucky. And I can tell you, I really like all three of these bikes. I have not hidden how much I like the Spur, and I have nothing going on with transition at all. I love the Spur. Great bike. It has worked really, really well. First time I got on the Signal Peak, it was very reminiscent to me of some of the elements of that bike. Now, there are some differences. This bike's significantly shorter, sub 1200 wheelbase, when the Spur's 1220 something, and much steeper head tube angle. But I just like that. And so I think that's an important thing to understand. Like, if you tell me I have to choose one quote unquote down country bike right now, I'm taking the Signal Peak. And I'm taking it with very little time on it. And I'll tell you why. I pretty much like almost every bike I ride. I was absolutely in love with the Signal Peak the first time I rode it, and I didn't think I was going to like the Fox stuff that was on it.
That was back in October.
Well. Totally.
I remember you really liked it when I saw you out there on G6.
Dude, I hammered that bike. It was great. And then getting on mine, I just love the Sid Ultimate and the Sid Lux Ultimate. That shock and fork are killer. And I really like how they work. So
it's good value too.
I don't even know.
I think it's a pretty solid value. I think it's $48.99 for this Signal in your build, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look back and see, because again, that's one of those things where that'll play into it. There's a lot of things that play into it. Like, dude, here we go. Dippin says they had the Rocky demo there. Hopefully he rode the Element as well.
The Element's insane. I love that bike.
I did not get to ride the Element, but I would be willing to bet that if I rode the Element, based on what I've heard, I rode an Instinct, and holy crap, dude. Like, those bikes are super light and they pedal amazingly well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Element is legit. And here's the thing, dude. I would have an Element if there was an extra element to ride. I've talked with Dre Hessler is the dude at Rocky that basically gives media bikes out. Super cool dude. I've talked with him a decent amount. He said, look, man, if we had any demo bikes, I'd get you one. We don't. And we're sold out till like 24. So
oh my goodness.
It's a crazy thing. And Matt, the thing is, even Walmart bike would look good when Rich is riding it.
Question is, could you get him to ride it?
I'll ride anything, dude. I don't care. I'll ride anything. And
that is true.
I'll have fun. And yeah, maybe it would look pretty good. But dude, here's what it comes back to. And this is one of the things that I wanted to say to that person that made that comment is, I'm not going to tell you to buy any bike. I want to give you my input. I want to share my experiences, and I'd love for you to ask questions. And if I have an answer or something I say resonates with you, then okay, great. Like, you can maybe buy the bike. That might help. But it's just, I think it's funny because there's a lot of people out there that say a lot of different things, good, bad, all this stuff. I'm not here to say good, bad. I'm here to say what my experience is. And I love this question right here. Signal, Delano, and LaSalle. If you got to pick two of the three, what are you taking and why? Signal and Delano, guaranteed. And I'll tell you, because the LaSalle is just way more bike than I would ever use anywhere. I'm still getting one because that's what my deal is. And I'm going to ride it and I'm going to have fun with it. But what I can tell you is I'm going to make some big changes to the LaSalle. I'm going to get a angled cup set for the headset and try to take a degree of head tube angle out of it, try to steepen it up. So we're going to ride at places like we're going to ride Crested Butte. We're going to ride some stuff in Breckenridge. We'll probably ride Keystone on it. We'll ride a few different places, but I can tell you right now that that's a lot of bikes. So for me, the Delano is, especially with either an X2 or a Super Deluxe Ultimate Rear Shock in the 142 stroke, is just legit, and a 164. So yeah, I like bikes, dude.
We could talk about them all day.
Yeah, I like a lot of bikes, and to an extent, I'm kind of a creature of habit. But I think one of the other things that's important to state here is I'm unique in that I'll ride anything. That's so funny. That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's a fact. I've always thought about that. He can ride whatever.
It doesn't really. There are circumstances where it does. A prime example is the Enduro. You don't see me riding the Enduro very much. And I don't ride the Enduro very much because, one, it's a massive bike and it's just very different than everything else I ride. So that definitely makes things a little bit challenging, and it's going to be even more challenging moving forward because the wheelbase on this Signal is so short.
It is. It's the wheelbase, like you said, sub 1200, which is pretty rare.
11, man, it might even be under 1190, which
I think
me,
it's 1190.
Yeah, that's way smaller than anything that I have. So
yeah, like the element that somebody was talking about earlier. That one's kind of more like the transition spur. I think in a large, it's like 1230 wheelbase. It's actually pretty long. It's definitely slacked out. I think it was like a 64 head angle, which is wild.
It is very, very crazy. But it's one of those things where for me, I'm a bit different. And we've had this discussion about all these things that you feel on the bike and all this.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, it's 67 head angles too steep. And you're like, why?
Well, and again, I think a lot of it comes back to history.
Yeah.
What have you done? I've been riding bikes for a long time. I got my first mountain bike in 1988. So it was very, very different. And Jeff Larson, dude, thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate that, man. Things look well, and I'll keep everybody updated on my Instagram once I am okay to say. But yeah, I've been riding for a long time, and I like bikes. I rode a lot when bikes were not super capable. So it's funny for me now riding something like a Signal Peak. That's a very capable bike for me. If somebody started riding recently and they started riding a longer travel bike, they wouldn't feel the same way. It wouldn't be the same sort of thing. So I think there's a lot of context, and I've always tried to say that in every video we make. There's context. I'm an athletic dude. I rode BMX for a long time. I rode moto for a long time. So that all comes back to who I am, how I ride, and what I'm able to do with certain bikes. Now, Eric asked, do you ride your Levo SL much? I just sold my Levo SL. I had it for a long time. I loved it. I thought it was a great bike. I still think it's an incredible bike. I'm not sure where it's at in its life cycle. You can make the assumption that there's probably a change coming with it. I think it's due for it, but I probably could still argue if I just had to choose one bike, being rational, the Levo SL might be that bike for me where I'm at and what I do. It's just really fun. It's like a heavy trail bike is the best way to describe it.
I love the Levo SL.
I've literally gone out on that bike and ridden 30, 40 minutes and forgot to turn it on and just realized, oh, dude, I didn't turn it on. And now it's on. So
yeah, that one you lent to me was shockingly awesome. I was like, man, this is as light as trail bikes that I've bought in the past and a heavy assist. So,
well, really it's funny because people don't understand. They look at the numbers and they think, well, wait a minute, it's way less power than a full e-bike. Yeah, but it's way lighter. We're talking 10, 11 pounds lighter. So that's a significant difference. But now I have been riding my full power Levo. So the current generation, I think it's the third generation Levo. I've been riding that a decent amount. And we also had some YT decoys that we've been ripping around on a little bit, especially out scouting for some of the stuff that we're going to be shooting.
Yeah.
So
Recon machine.
I love e-bikes, man. And I'm hoping to, over the next 3-6 months, even a year, get some more and ride some more because I think they're legit. Now, Carlos says a Polygon D7 best down country bike. Dude, I have no idea. I've never ridden anything Polygon.
That's what my wife rides. She has one.
Yeah? You like it?
She loves it. It's a nice bike. I mean, it's good value for the dollar, and they sell well.
Well, dude, and that's part of it. Man, I have no problem with value bikes. It's
fun, I think it's like $16.99 or maybe $17.99 now.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, another one that's a good value, I think, is a Commensal. So the Meta is, by all accounts, a great bike.
Yep, Meta TR was on my radar as of recently. Very cool bike.
Yeah, Mason's selling one. So if anybody's in the Northwest Arkansas area, that's a Meta TR, right?
Yeah, I went and looked at it. It's incredibly light. I was shocked because I'd heard like Commensal is kind of like heavy. I disagree. That bike felt light and athletic, in my opinion.
Yeah, he said good things about it. It's only been ridden a few times.
Yeah,
but no, I've never ridden a Commensal. I haven't ridden many Rocky Mountains. Like that's another one that I would love to get a couple of those to ride. Yeah. I don't care, dude. I'm down to ride pretty much anything, but it just gets to the point where there are so many bikes. Oh, GMTB.
Hey,
dude, of course.
appreciate that,
$19.99
man.
so much, dude. Of course that helps. Yeah,
oh, look,
man.
and there's the D7.
Yeah, I'm excited to just roll by and drop a check off to this family. And he's a pretty important dude in the community. He's a storyteller, we'll say that. I've worked with him recently in the past, and you're going to see some of his work, and I think everybody's going to be moved by some of his work. So yeah, trust me,
That's right.
Really going to help. So I appreciate that so much. Yeah, everybody. I mean, it's all of these big numbers. I appreciate it, and trust me, it's going to make a big difference. And hopefully, we'll be able to like share a little bit of footage or something when we do it, because he's just the coolest. He's just such a cool little kid, man. He really is. They have 3 kids, and they're a super athletic family. They run, they ride a lot, and they're just super positive. And it's funny because that's, I think, why one of the reasons that we get along so well with them is we're not negative. Like Sarah's a pretty positive person, but I have my moments, and it's just funny because every time we see them, it's like all of a sudden, it's like I just drank a huge cup of coffee, and I'm just like, yes, yes, everything. I love everything. Life is amazing.
Stoked up.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I
That's
appreciate
cool,
people like that. Let me ask you this, dude. Right now, what's one bike that you'd love to ride that you've had your eye on?
Well, we kind of touched base on that a little bit. I did order something today, but that's kind of off topic of the signals.
Well, you got to tell that now. No, I mean, we're not getting any signal questions.
Yeah, so I ordered a propane today. So I'm going on for anyone who doesn't know already, I'm riding the YT Izzo completely stock, the Core 2. Love it. But I bought something that is completely on the polar opposite end. I got the propane. I guess they call it the Tai E. Is that how you say it?
Dude, the Tai
E. I got the CF model, but the basic build, the bottom one, but it's still pretty nice. I'm excited about it. So I'll basically have my Jekyll and Hyde, like 2 completely different personality bikes. One bike's matte black, the other bike's gonna be gloss black. So they're gonna look good together.
Yeah, that's going to look real good. And Rob's had that bike. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah, I actually gave him a call beforehand because I knew he owned one, and I just wanted to like follow up and see if there were any gripes or anything that had arisen since the last time he spoke on it. And he said no, he loves it.
Nah, he digs it. It was funny too because it was creaking really bad for a while. I don't know if he told you this.
He did not.
Dude, the cranks, the bottom bracket was loose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a bottom bracket. So
yeah, he had never tightened it. It was really funny, dude. The thing was just loose. So no, that's it. Yeah, it's a great bike, and I've tried to tell people, get what you can get and get the best deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tough sometimes because people they ask questions about what should I get, how's this, how's that, and I try to tell everybody, get what you can get and get the best deal.
Then you also have to factor in availability right now, which is another thing we talked on. They're supposed to be able to fulfill my order this month, which is incredible because a lot of other brands are weeks, if not months out, which is insane.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is you were looking at the availability of the Signal Peak, and it's halfway decent.
I was, yeah. In the same build spec that Rich has, if you're in a medium large or extra large, it's only 2 to 4 weeks. But if you're a small, you're looking at 17 weeks. So that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, I got one of those smalls from Mama Bear. Yep. She has not ridden it, and I'm excited for her to ride it, just because it's more up her alley. Like she's not a shredder by any means, and she liked her Delano, but I had an opportunity to get her a stump jumper, and she's been digging the stump jumper, and I'm curious for her to ride. Like she rode the Signal up and down the street and was just blown away. She's like, oh my God, this thing's a rocket ship. It feels like an e-bike. So I'm excited for her to get it out on the trail and see what she thinks, because I think it could possibly take over as a daily bike for the stump jumper. And then we could possibly just kind of trail out the stump jumper. Like I'll put a different set of wheels on it because that thing's built up super, super light, Axis, everything.
Yeah, that thing's insane. So, talk about the S-Works stumpy she's got.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say S-Works, but yeah,
she's got
she's got a solid stump jumper. Yeah, she gets taken care of. I don't have any S-Works bikes, but
the thing is nice.
She's getting taken care of. So what we might do is switch everything over.
Bike.
Yeah, switch everything over to the Signal and just make that on kill, just super light, legit. Because I'm going that way. Like, dude, I've had my GX Axis kit sitting for, dude, I think I've had it for 4 months for that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize you had one that's going on the Signal.
Oh, I got a couple. Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. What? Yeah, I got a couple, dude.
Cool.
Paid straight retail for them from backcountry or something.
It's a decent
I wasn't
value.
fooling around. Yeah, well, dude, as soon as they became available, I bought 2 of them. So
yeah,
the Signal is going to get one, and I haven't decided yet. I think the Izzo might get the GX.
Yeah, I thought that I was going to mention, because that gentleman asked earlier about this Signal, Izzo, or what was the other bike? Spur. I thought you might want to mention the caveat that you pretty much long traveled your Izzo with the 150 fork out front. That's a
so yeah. I mean, and that I think is something that will. Jared's got to do puppy in the house. So some is it brother? I think it's brother sister. Are they brother sister battling now, or is it brother?
She's sounding off because Christine came in, and anytime somebody comes in the house, she sounds off. She thinks she can defend the home single-handedly.
That's so cool. I love that. That's sometimes, dude. That's all it takes.
Yeah,
I think we could probably dedicate just an entire hour probably to talking about that Izzo.
Yeah, you have it set up like full-blown trail mode with the 150 36 out front.
Oh, dude, 150 36 2.6 Butcher grid up front.
Yeah,
with Pushcore Pro 2.3 Eliminator in the rear. Like, choice, dude. Choice. That bike.
Yeah, it's like to the tune that your Izzo is probably more in line with your Delano than it is your Spur, your Signal at this point.
It's funny because I think, I don't know, dude. That's tough to say. They're both very, very capable bikes. I don't know that I would want to ride the Izzo at a Windrock like I did with the Delano.
Yeah, I get that.
So I think that if I had to say, they position kind of like this. They're similar, but top end capability, the Delano definitely has it. But again, somebody said here, get the bike for you, dude. Yeah, I'd argue that Izzo set up how it is with the 150 36 and those tires with the Pushcore Pro, dude. A lot of people could ride that bike a lot of places. Like, I can tell you right now, dude, I am going to go rage at Leatherwood, Passion Play, Nebo, probably Northwoods. I think on the Izzo. I'll probably bounce back between the Izzo and the Jeffsy. Dude, okay, just forget it. Forget I said that. The Izzo, yeah, dude. The Izzo, right, the Izzo. I don't even know where we're at, dude. I don't even know where we're at. So, yeah, for the 50 people watching, I have a Jeffsy. I'll be talking about that pretty soon.
We'll get there. Lots of good plans, though.
Oh, man. Yeah. So look at this. We got another one. 1999. Thank you so much. Is that 01 biking? I think is what it is. Went to the demo in your clinic. Oh, dude. Yeah. At Rocky. That was so cool. Yeah. That was fun, dude. That event with Rocky Mountain was rad. Rocky Mountain came in and did a clinic at the G6 area in Bentonville, and they hired us to do some skill sessions for them. And it was super fun, man. Like, anybody on here of the 44 people, if you're kind of a student of mountain biking or if you've been in it for a long time, you know who Wade Simmons is. And I knew Wade was going to be there at this event. They call Wade the Godfather of freeride. And I rolled up and met Wade, and he couldn't have been a cooler dude. We went out, we rode. I got to tow him into the choo-choo double-double.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, I mean, dude, literally one of the highlights of my riding life. Just got to just rip around the trails with that dude on e-bikes. and we were just like kids riding. And it was pretty funny because I got home and I was all fired up, and my wife asked, and I told her, and I said, just, it was so fun. And
yeah, it looked like a good day.
I talked about it for a while. Well, the next day she brought everybody Onyx, and she went over and she brought him his, and she talked to them for a few minutes. She said, "Hey, thank you so much. Rich had a lot of fun yesterday." He said he was like a kid. Eric, have I ridden flight attendant yet?
Funny you ask.
Funny you would say that. We'll give everybody a bit of an inside scoop here.
Yeah, might as well.
I have ridden flight attendant. I have a flight attendant bike. It's a YT GFC, but it's an uncaged 6. That's why it has flight attendant. So it is a $9,500 bike from them. And
it is gnarly.
I have that bike. I'm going to ride that bike. I'm going to share my journey with flight attendant, but I'm going to do something else with that bike that might intrigue a few people. So stay tuned. In the next week, I believe, we will have the video that talks about that bike, shows the first ride on it, and talks about what's going to happen with that bike. So Jared knows. I think people are probably going to be pretty fired up.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. I'm excited. Yeah. I was fortunate enough to get to see the video early, and it is mint. It's not my work this time, but it's still mint.
What are you talking about, dude? You don't have a couple $70,000 red cameras?
No.
Yeah, that one was, dude, the shots were like, that's the first time, actually not the first time, but the first time I've shot with new ones. And it was, man, it's quite an experience. What about this one? Guys, what are some of your favorite tire manufacturers? It's funny, I didn't see tires. I thought he just said favorite manufacturers, and I was getting ready to go into it. You know, Carlos, I've only ridden a few, so Maxxis and Specialized are pretty much all I've been on. I've ridden some Vittorias, and I thought they were pretty decent. Mm-hmm. I rode some Schwalbes. They were okay for a couple rides, but then they just went away. I don't think they last too long in my experience, but this was a few years ago. So that's, I mean, for me, if it's not Specialized, it's Maxxis. That's just all I know. Yeah. You know, a Maxxis Minion DHF and a 2.5 EXO. And that was my tire for years and years and years. And then
front and rear.
Yeah, dude.
Dang, that's a lot of grip.
That's, bro.
I know you need it. You and Mason, y'all like all those super knobby tires, but for me, it holds me back.
Dude, you got to have something that bites.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, dude, the DHF, I love the DHF a lot. And then now, Butcher front, Eliminator rear, especially with the new Specialized stuff, just dig it.
I've heard a lot of good things about the Butcher.
Butcher's a great tire. Dissector Recon for Bentonville, you know.
Bro, the Element I rode was Recon, and I thought it was great. I rode Rock Soft and a few things that are, I guess, like for Bentonville a little bit more techie, and it did fine.
I don't mind it, you know. The Dissector Recon, I've ridden it on a couple bikes, and I think it's pretty good. I like Recons. I've run Recons front and rear a couple times in the past, like on a more aggressive XC setup. The Dissector is something that's kind of new for me, and I think it's just time acclimating to a tire, especially when you're so used to one. So it's tough. I can tell you in my experience, I think that's a pretty decent combo. You got to be careful with some of the places you're riding because a Recon just overall is a lower profile than a DHF or an Eliminator or a Butcher. And I'm of the mind, give me more tire. I'd rather have more tire and have something harder to pedal than super light tire and roll the risk of something happening. I'm a heavier dude. I would rather get more of a workout. I would rather be inefficient to an extent than have a super light tire that rolls really well and then just shred the thing somewhere. So that's me. Justin says, new owner of a YT GFC Core 2. I can tell you right now, Justin, I got one ride on this GFC, and wow. Like Eric said, you're smiling too much. Must have been good. It's gnarly, dude. Gnarly. Like, we were in, when was that? We were at the YT Mill earlier this year, and they had the Capra. I think it might be the Capra Uncaged 6. So you roll into the mill, dude, and here is this Capra Axis flight attendant, like just hero bike sitting there in this badass display.
Is that purple one with the Olins?
No. This was the same color as the one I have. It's the super light. This was way before those ones came out.
I got you.
No, this is all RockShox, flat attendant, Axis, everything. And we had an awesome day. We rode with the Etnies team, just ripping decoys. And then we're sitting there, and it's probably 2:30 in the afternoon. And Jeff Taylor, the president of YT North America, looks over at that Capra. He goes, Rich, you want to ride that bike? And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, man, we've been sitting here. Nobody's ridden it. We've just, I don't know, we've been waiting for the right opportunity, man. And I think it's the right opportunity. And I said, hell yes. And I'd never ridden a Capra before. And I went out and I rode that Capra. And dude, my mind was absolutely blown. Like, I could not believe I was on a bike with that much travel.
What is it, 170, 170?
Yes, dude. The thing's massive, dude. Big. But it did not feel like it. It pedaled remarkably well. And once I kind of got over the initial reaction to flight attendant going constantly, it was gnarly. But yeah, dude, thoroughly impressed. And then a conversation ensued, to keep it short, and that's what led to the Jeffsy. So I'll go more in depth on the Jeffsy. I'm hoping it doesn't look like we'll be able to do it this weekend, but I'm hoping that next week, maybe Thursday, we can put that video out on the Jeffsy, and then we're going to do a live after, because we're going to need to do a live after to talk about that bike and what's going to happen with that bike. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Flat attendant it's kind of mind-blowing, I guess would be the best way to describe it. What it does, how it does it, how quickly it does it. It's just,
yeah, at first I thought it was like comparable to Fox's live valve, but it's not even close. Completely different.
No, it's not. I mean, live valve is using some different things. There's a lot more going on with flat attendant. Flat attendant is way more in depth. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. What about any other questions out there? 43 people. Somebody might have a question. I was trying to look back on, because I asked on, oh, hang on. So we do have a couple. The Josh Foster, always good. Is it more compact than you might like? I tend to like longer reach, and Fezzari's seem short. So, yes.
Talking about the signal?
Yeah, because I specifically asked about the signal. Dude, what's crazy though, Josh, is it's not like the reach. I think it's 463 is the reach, which generally speaking, that's not short. I'd say that's right there in line with what's right for me. Now, the Delano in a large is a 483, I think. So we're talking 20 mil difference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from a 50 mil and run a 60 mil with a little bit more of a riser bar to kind of trail this thing out a little bit. But I think he brings up a really good point about what do you prefer, reach or wheelbase? What is the thing that's more important to you? And that's a very personal thing. You know, Mason's reach. Mason's all like 450 reach. Rob is about 475-ish. 470, 475, I think, is his reach number. But for me, I'll deal with different reach. I'm looking more for a wheelbase. And so now I've gone longer and longer and longer on wheelbase.
Yeah.
And to deal with that, I've had to deal with a shorter reach. Like the S3 Stumpy Evo is a prime example. That's a 455 reach, but a pretty long wheelbase. So it's all, the numbers don't always tell the story.
Right.
So I think that's something that is pretty important for people to understand, especially Josh. He's a taller, lankier dude. Like, if you can get on the bike and ride the bike, I would say you got to do it because you have to make sure it's comfortable with you. Rick asks, how does it compare to other short travel bikes you have, like the Spur and the Epic Evo? It compares really, 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 really well. And this is something that I think would kind of dovetail off into its own conversation. And I might try to see if we can get Tyler Cloward, who's the head of product from Fezzari, on at some point to talk about it. But one of the things, when I first saw the bike that we were going to ride for the demo or for the launch shoot, the first thing I noticed was it was a 4-bar rear end. I was shocked. I figured, like everything else, it would have flex days. Yeah. And they said, no, dude, no, we have to have a 4-bar rear. And that might be one of the things that makes me like the bike so well. It doesn't move in the back. And I mean, dude, I was riding it really hard.
He was.
It doesn't move. It works really well. And again,
and when you say move, you mean like laterally, right?
Yeah, dude. Like the Epic Evo flexes; those stays flex.
I bet that's a pretty lean looking bike,
dude. A stump jumper does the same thing. The Spur, you don't feel it as much. Like the Spur does it really well.
Yeah.
But this thing, I mean, dude, it just tracks. And for me, I think the most telling shots in the video that you just did were the follow cam. Mason following me through that just cross-country section where I'm just bouncing through and popping off stuff. That's how I ride. That's how I love to ride. And I don't just do it on sections like that. I do it everywhere. So as you can imagine, when the speed comes up, the force of that goes up. And when that happens, shit starts moving, dude. Like bikes start doing funny things, and that can be very unnerving for people. So,
makes it unpredictable.
Well, it makes it unpredictable, but it also makes it tough to deal with if you're not confident and you don't have a lot of time. Like that's the thing that's so hard to explain to people is some of these bikes that work really well for me, I could hypothesize they work really well if you're a good rider and ride them really hard, or they work really well if you're just cruising, like cross-country style stuff. But if you're somewhere in the middle, dude, they might kill you. Like it just, they'll do things that if you take a second to think about what's happening and try to figure it out, it's over, dude. You're done. So those are things that you need to understand and you need to think about. And so a lot of it comes back to, who are you as a rider? What is your skill set? What are you comfortable doing? And that, I think, is very important when thinking about what are these bikes going to do. Like I talk all the time about how capable these short travel bikes are. They're very capable for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of other people that they're capable for, but I would not expect the average 190-pound rider to be able to do the things that I'm doing with these short travel bikes. And so, again, very important to think about that. And this is another one. Sean asks, are you locking out the rear shock on your Signal on climbs?
Negative.
No, I'm not now. I'm not going to say I doubt I will, because that SID's on or off. Like it doesn't have the 3 position like the Fox does. With the 3 position, I might click it into the trail mode. You know, I've done that, I think, literally once or twice on my Izzo. But again, Sean, I can tell you right now, man, I ride my stuff open, dude. I just ride it open. If I'm on the road and I know I'm going to be on the road for an extended period of time, yeah, I'll go ahead and lock it out and cruise that way. But I just prefer to ride the bike open because I set my suspension up trying to get it to work the best it can. And
it looks like in the video, it looked like it didn't bob much anyway. Like we had a couple shots where we were literally right on you as you were climbing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the Signal doesn't really bob anyway. Like you look like you were getting good traction.
Yeah, it's nothing that stood out to me. So I don't know. I'm going to get some more time on it, and we're going to make some more videos on it. We're going to do at least one more where we get some more riding footage. So it's just a big compilation of a cross section of all the things I've done. But I mean, dude, I can tell you that one section, and actually I don't know if you've seen it, but there's at Handcut Hollow, they have some new stuff. It's like this new downhill single track one section, dude. It's ripping. And there's a couple of like double ups that I could probably hit. I think I'm going to hit them on this bike. I might put the new wheels on and hit them, but I'm going to hit them. So you're going to get a lot of intel from me on this bike, and I'm going to ride it hard. It's one of the things that I've been asked to do is ride it and see how hard I can push it. And so I'll do that, and we'll try to get you as much as we can. Spinny's heading to Ponk on Saturday. Hopefully I don't die. Please don't die. Yeah. Pre-ride, re-ride, free ride. I can tell you could die. I mean, if there's a place you could die, Ponka could be it. Ponka's rad, but there's some pretty decent rock rolls. You're picking up some high speeds. It's really, really, really fun. I would say definitely, yeah, have fun. Jeff, starting to think the Yeti SP130 lunch ride I ordered may never come in. I'm not surprised, dude. Lunch ride, I've heard, is a rad bike. Everybody digs it. So Jeff C. or Delano cool as my backup. Any personal preference? Both. You can't go wrong with either of those two bikes, in my opinion. I would just say, what can you get and what's the better deal? So compare the spec equally as much as you can and see what the better deal is. I don't know what availability is in either of those bikes, but I can tell you I would be happy to ride a mid-spec build in either of those. Core 2 in the Jeff C, or even a comp, the base in a Delano. I think they're rad bikes, both of them. You have
YT's pretty sporadic. Like they'll be in stock one day and gone the next. So
okay, so hang on. I gotta tell this YT story, and then we'll look to wrap this up. But you talk about it being sporadic. So dude, that's how it works. The mill, like a truck comes in, they unload the shipping container with all the bikes, and the bikes get shipped out. Last time we were there, dude, a shipping container shows up. All of a sudden, everybody disappears. Jeff Taylor, president of YT North America, is gone. I peek out back. That dude's in the shipping container shuffling boxes out. They were there for 90 minutes, dude, all of them doing that. So just a quick little side story to tell you how cool that dude is. President of YT North America in a shipping container getting everything out. And Eric, dude, I have too many cool bikes and not enough time to enjoy them all. It's funny. I joked earlier with somebody. I said, everybody wants all these bikes. You want to be able to have all these bikes to ride. I can tell you right now, it's a pain in the ass, man. Like you can only ride so many bikes, and they're all good. Like all the bikes are good bikes, and it's just hard to choose what to ride and when. And thankfully for me, Eric, I can tell you, dude, a lot of times I don't necessarily make the decision. The content we're creating and who we're creating it for dictates what bike I have to ride. So I'm thankful a lot of the time for that.
Helps make the decision for you.
I don't know what I would end up choosing, but at some point soon, maybe we should do something like a live from the garage or talk about the fleet.
Yeah.
Talk about what we have. I'm nervous. It's just,
I've seen videos of that nature before. People tend to enjoy them.
Maybe we'll pick a couple.
Yeah.
Talk about them.
The top 5 out of my quiver.
Oh, dude. Again, that's a tough one. Like, I don't know.
I know.
How are you going to choose top 5? I mean, it's so hard. And then people are going to get upset. And not a chance, Eric. I can tell you right now, dude. Even if I wanted to do that, my boss would shut that down so quick. Yeah, not a chance, dude. Support Chris. Jeff's wife wants to know, are there any support groups for non-riding spouses? Jeff, that's why she's got a ride, dude. How my wife dealt with that was becoming a rider. So you need to bring her up to Bentonville so she can ride with the women of odds.
Yep. Get her on a rental if you have to, and just get her pedaling.
So, dude, I'm super excited. I was very excited about this one first because I really like the Signal Peak, and I was excited for the video to come out and to talk about the Signal Peak. But when we had the idea to say all of the super chats are going to go to an amazing family who their son just had to have a brain tumor removed. Yep. I didn't know what we'd get. I think we got a decent amount.
Pretty incredible. So, pretty incredible.
I'm excited to tally it all up and be able to shoot a message to that family and let them know. So for anybody who was here in the beginning, I know Ian had to bounce, but I'm going to throw his back up. Just super cool of Ian, actually local Kansas City dude, and I'm here right now. So again, thanks to Ian for the $100 that's going to go to this amazing family. Oklahoma TB. That's Derek, you said, right?
Right.
Yeah, such a rad dude. He's always here. Our man, Cobra Kyle, the cycling psychologist, Rob. I know Jeremy hooked it up to Jeremy, Skip, Eric Byer. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. It means a lot. And I've said multiple times, I want to, every time we do one of these, take that super chat money and give it to somebody. And it's just cool that it worked out like this. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to
start.
Yeah. And I'd like to do it like that, like something that just popped up, something that organically happened to give to either that organization or that family.
Right.
There's so many families in need now that if we can give them anything, like you said, man, like to be able to help pay for a couple of meals. And
I think any weight off their shoulders would be amazing.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And so I think to be able to do that, and I think the money we made will do that. Can you tally it up real quick? I want to go tell Sarah.
Let me see
how much we're going to write a check for. Yeah, I'm stoked, dude. I think it's going to be pretty good.
You just keep talking to the crowd while I do my math.
Do some math. 1 + 3, carry the 4, 5 to 7.
Well, I got a calculator, so it's not that bad.
That's funny. We're working math with homeschool with Dex right now. It's always fun. Trying to do that. Trying to get it all figured out.
Oh, I can only imagine, dude.
I'm hoping we don't get much rain, dude. We got to start shooting again.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready to get back out too. It feels like it's been forever.
I know, doesn't it? It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's only been a week or so.
All right, so I am getting, and I will double back and verify this, but I'm getting $465. So.
That's sweet, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Cool. And then obviously, if you're matching that figure,
we're gonna match it. I'll probably bump it up and just make it an even 1,000.
Yeah,
I would like to write him $1,000 check.
Yeah, that's sick, man. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Well,
thanks, incredible.
I appreciate you moderating as always. We might see.
It's a pleasure seeing all these folks.
Well, I think maybe we could get Mason next time. Try to get him a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we got another one.
Yeah. So
Justin, didn't he already give? I thought he already gave something, but
I'm not sure.
That's so cool, dude. I appreciate it,
Justin.
That
puts us at 485.
485, man. Incredible. So cool. I appreciate that. And yeah, we're going to keep bringing the content. Jared and I just had a meeting about that.
Oh, man, we've got so much coming. It's going to be so sick.
Dude, we have a ton coming. We have a lot of shooting days. So I'm hoping here in the next month and a half, maybe 2 months, that we're going to be able to make a ton of things.
Yeah.
We're going to get.
If you're not sold on visiting the mountain biking capital of the world, you will be.
Yeah.
Rest assured.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna keep doing the trail overview series just because the feedback has been great, but we're gonna try to weave in some more how-tos with that, like some teaching moments.
Mm-hmm.
We got some noob. We're gonna get in there in front of the camera a little bit more. Start riding some joker. What's his name? Jared. Some guy named Jared.
Something like that.
Jared Morgan. So you're gonna start seeing Jared a little bit more in front of the camera. So
which I'm excited for.
Be prepared. We're going to show them how to use that ISO.
Oh yeah, baby.
To its full extent. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming in the form of trail overviews. We're going to do a couple more element videos that'll be pretty fun. We have those lined out, and those are just going to be some gnarly spots. Like some of the bigger things that we hit in Bentonville, we're just going to devote to those. So it'll be like 7-8 minutes of just pure entertainment. We'll have Mason and Caleb the sender along and see if I can put them in some compromise positions and see what happens.
Very good riders, very skilled dudes.
Very good riders, but still young in the game. And so
for sure,
we can take them in deep. So either way, all right, dude. Well, I am going to get to sleep because we're out of here early.
Yeah.
Early in the morning. Yeah, dude, we got to get back home.
I know what that's like, man.
Mason's ready to work in the morning. I got to make sure I'm back there so we can get ready. But all right, dude.
Understood.
Well, thank you again. Great session as always. And,
absolutely. Thanks for having me. Soon. And thank you, audience, for taking care of business.
Over and out. I'm going to use Rob Drew's term. Over and out.